Here we are at the very western end of Boundary Street in Kowloon. Possibly not the most salubrious area, but even here are some specks of greenery. And I've come to revisit some planting areas that I worked on in around 2009, including this little central median here. And the wider end of it we planted with Tabebuia impetigonosa and Livistona chinensis. Absolutely no sign whatsoever of the Tabebuia. I think they were blown down in typhoons and were never replaced. But the Livistona are looking fantastic. They really seem to be quite happy here. So Livistona in the central median looking really good. The shrub area is Calliandra hematocephala, tough as old boots, and it's chosen for that reason, and it survived quite well, despite some encroachment from truck maintenance and what have you. This section of the median is really narrow, and we have quite an unusual species here. This is Polyalthia longifolia pendula. Polyalthia longifolia pendula, which is the most curious tree. You can see that it naturally grows up straight like a rocket, but the branches and the foliage hang down, hence the name pendula. It's a very odd tree. Usually you see it in further south in the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, these kind of places. But it grows here, does pretty well. And it was chosen because I knew that the branches would not spread out and get in the way of the traffic, because this median really is narrow. Now, they've had a pretty hard time. They grew a lot taller than this, actually. And you can see there some cuts. It's being routinely cut back, really seriously cut back, in fact. And I suspect that they weren't entirely stable in such a small growing area, which is my fault, I suppose. And I thought this would be a great tree for Hong Kong because it grows up straight and narrow, and doesn't take up much horizontal space, but it grows pretty well. You can see on the other side of the road over there, on the other side of the road, there's the entrance to a temple. And one objection to these trees was actually that they look like a ghost. Specifically, a ghost called Hak Bak Mosong, which is either one or two ghosts who are very naughty and are not really regarded as very lucky, I suppose. But anyway, because these trees look like Hak Bak Mosongs, these are about the only ones that were ever planted. But anyway, here they are, amazingly still hanging on in there, despite being hacked back, and presumably some people don't like them very much. But anyway, there they are. You can make up your own opinion about what you think about those. But and then over here we have one Tabebuia impetigonosa which survived, just planted in that little slightly wider area, that central median. Now that should have fantastic pink flowers in the spring, and if I can, I'll come back and see if that's true. And then we have some Duranta and Ixora in these little planting areas, with all these signs and traffic lights sticking out of them. It's well, I mean, it's still a planting area. It's still green, not concrete, so that's something. But it's interesting that the Tabebuia look has done quite well. Let's have a closer look at it. It's growing quite nicely. And the Polyalthia and over there the Livistona chinensis.